Hey guys, it's Abby. How are you all doing tonight? Hopefully, this finds you all doing well, keeping warm, relaxing for the evening. Um, Hopefully, your work day is done. Tonight, we hear from a subscriber who is having some issues with a noisy neighbor, an annoying neighbor. She writes in and asks for some help, so let's see if we can't help her out. Her fingers don't want to work. Alright, so here we go. It says, "Hello Abby. I hope I'm making some sense in this email, but it is currently 3 a.m. and I'm so exhausted I'm about to cry. I moved into my apartment in November. My upstairs neighbor was out of town at the time, taking care of a relative for the whole time that I've lived here. However, he came back a week and a half ago. I have barely slept since. He is up all night doing I don't know what, and all I hear is banging, stomping, and what sounds like furniture being moved around. I haven't had a good night's sleep since. I lay here trying to fall asleep every night, and as soon as I'm just about asleep, I hear a huge bang that wakes me right back up or wakes up my dog, who in turn barks and wakes me up if I'm actually asleep. I am a full-time student and work full-time too, and I have a severe panic disorder. I feel like I'm coming apart at the seams over this. I live in a really high cost living area with extremely limited apartments and pay $2,200 a month for an extremely small apartment. Moving would be horrible, but I am running out of options. I have no idea what to do. This is so annoying. I really love my apartment, but this is making me hate it. I'm young and he's a middle-aged man. I'm scared if I say something to him, it will only make things worse. Do I break the lease? Do I say something to him? Do I complain to the landlord? I feel like I'm losing my mind over this. The exhaustion is really getting to me, and it's only been a week and a half. Do you have any suggestions? I'm about to lose my mind." Wow, that's craziness. Um, Gosh, first of all, $2,200 a month for rent? Where in creation do you live? Um, anyway, that's like, I don't know, for Ohio, that's like a mortgage payment. That's more than a mortgage payment. That's like almost two mortgage payments. Um, but anyway, I digress. I have a couple of questions for you. Um, because there's not really a whole lot of information in this one. Um, how well do you know this person? First off, and like what kind of vibes does he give off? Is he friendly? Um, how did you know that he was away taking care of a relative all that time? I assume you know that because you've talked to him. Um, Either that or other neighbors have filled you in. Um, And my next question is, do you have any noise ordinances in your city? Surely there's got to be something, some sort of noise ordinances where you live that you could call the police and have them, knock on his door and say, hey, keep it down. Another question I have for you, are there any provisions in your lease about noise ordinances? I do know a lot of times leases will have noise ordinances in them, kind of as a protection for the property owner and for the tenants as well. I would definitely look into those and find that out. Um, get a little bit of ammunition in your pocket, so to speak. Um, but do your homework on that for sure. If you think he's approachable, I would say try talking to him. Um, you know, the fact that it's been going on a week, and at first I thought, well, maybe it's because he's rearranging some furniture, making space for maybe that sick relatives coming to live with him, and maybe he's making space and rearranging things. But at 3 in the morning, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Um, if he if you don't feel like he's approachable, or um, I would say contact, kind of take it up the chain, so to speak. I would contact your landlord first and, you know, let them know what's going on. Ask them if they can say something to him. Because surely, if you're hearing it, I'm sure other neighbors around him have got to be hearing it too. You can't be the only one. Um, and, even neighbors surrounding you, on your floor might even be hearing that as well. So you might not be the only one, and you really might not be the first person to complain. Um, then I would say, if you contact your landlord and there's no resolution there, or it continues to happen, call the police. Have the police knock on their door. Um, because working full time and going to school is pretty stressful. And let's face it, you're probably not getting a lot of sleep to begin with. So, sleep is definitely, something you need to be able to maintain both of those things full time. Also, too, I would suggest documenting each occurrence just for your own sake. Um, I would document, like, the date, the time you were hearing it, what you were hearing, things like that. You know, if he starts to retaliate and um, make more noise, just keep calling the police. Call every time if you have to. If you have to call every night, call every night. Um, because that way, not only do you have your documentation that you're keeping, you now have legal documentation as well, um, from the police being called. Um, you deserve to be able to enjoy your home in peace. You deserve you're paying a lot of money for that place. You deserve to have a peaceful night's sleep. I mean, really, if, you know, if it doesn't come to any resolution, I would say, keep your documentation. Document when you call the landlord, document when you call the police. I know it's a lot of work and it's a lot of hassle, but worst case scenario, I guess, if you don't want to move, but this continues on and you have to move, if it comes to a point where you have to move and you have to break your lease, that way you have your documentation, the legal documentation, and you have something to back yourself up to be able to get out of your lease, without getting any penalties or things like that. So that may be helpful to you as well, to keep track of all that stuff. I know it's a pain in the behind, but it may benefit you in the long run. And maybe, call once and hopefully it gets resolved. But if it's been going on every night for a week and a half, it may escalate. I hate to say that. And I really hope the best for you. I hope that it doesn't come to that. But, you have to say something. You can't, panic disorder aside, you definitely need your sleep, because if you're not getting that, not only is it going to affect your work and your schooling, but it's going to affect your mental health as well. Eventually, it's going to take a toll on you. Sleep deprivation is horrible. So yeah, I would definitely try to just go through all the right channels and get your ducks in a row and make sure you have all the documentation you need, however you need to get it, should it come down to you having to break your lease and getting into a new place. Hopefully for you it doesn't, but better to be prepared than to try to guess it all at the last minute in the end. If anyone else has any suggestions for this young lady, feel free to put them in the comments. I can only touch on so many things. But if I was paying that kind of money for an apartment to rent every month, you better believe I would be saying something for sure. They would know I was not happy. So, yeah, good luck to you. I wish you well. Please feel free to write back in and let us know how things go, how you're doing, if your problem gets resolved, what steps you took to get it resolved. Maybe you can help someone out in the future. Let us know. Everyone else, thank you all for being here. Thank our subscriber for writing in. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. Subscribe, like, share, and we will see you guys real soon. Bye, everyone.